Isn't it frustrating when your GE electric dryer decides it's done heating and leaves you with a pile of damp clothes? I'm David from AppliancePartsPros.com, and today we're diving into this issue to help you out. Together, we'll explore common culprits like the heating element, the high-limit thermostat, the control board, and even the drive motor. Don't worry if you're new to appliance repairs. Fixing your dryer can be simpler than you think. Let's get started and put that dryer back to work. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. For today's work, we'll need a multimeter, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a flathead screwdriver. Also, please remember that safety comes first. Don't forget to unplug your electric dryer or turn the breaker off. With the power disconnected, we're ready to dive into troubleshooting your dryer. Start by removing the screw on the back that holds the steam supply line cover. That comes off first. Now, grab a putty knife or a flat blade screwdriver and slide it in to release the two top clips. Give it a little pressure and pop the top open. Prop it up so it doesn't come down on you. Next, we'll remove the 4 screws on the front panel, plus the 2 on the top. Keep track of them, they're all coming back later. Unplug the door switch and the light connection. Give those a little wiggle if they're stubborn, but don't yank. Now, remove the 4 screws holding the front bulkhead in place. Once those are out, lift the bulkhead up and out, set it aside. Reach under the drum and slip the belt off the motor pulley. Then use the belt like a handle and lift the drum out of the cabinet. With the drum out of the way, it's time to check the heating element. Set your multimeter to ohms. On the top red connector at the element, that's your L2 line. Put one probe there, touch the other probe to the terminal just below it. You should get a reading right around 20 ohms. Now move to the bottom terminal and check that one to L2. Same deal, you want about 20 ohms. If both readings are good, your element's in the clear, it's time to move on to the next component. The high-limit thermostat is located just behind the terminals for the heating element. On electric models, it trips at 284 degrees Fahrenheit and is not resettable. To check it, use your multimeter set for continuity. If it's open, it will need to be replaced. If it's good, we will need to move to another component. All right, we're at the control board now, and what we're doing here is simple. We're just checking to see if voltage is making it to the heating elements. First, go ahead and get access to the control board. Take out all the screws on the rear metal panel and set aside. Tilt the console forward to get to the control board. There's a plastic cover over it. Pop that off with a flathead screwdriver. Now, before we do anything else, power stays on for this test. We'll be checking the voltage with the dryer running, so stay focused and be safe. Extreme care should always be taken to protect against electric shock, which could potentially result in serious injury. Please do not test live voltage if you are uncomfortable using a multimeter around live voltage. Set your multimeter to volts AC. Start the dryer and make sure it's in high heat mode. Now take one probe and place it on the blue wire at the black relay. Put the other probe on L2. You should get 240 volts AC. That's your outer coil circuit. Next, move to the yellow wire at the white relay. Again, check to L2. You should also see 240 volts there. If you're not getting those readings, that tells you one of the relays isn't closing. It's not sending voltage to the heating element, and that means the control board's failed. We're going to check the drive motor to see if the centrifugal switch is working. When the motor starts up, it should send 120 volts to the L2 wire going to the heating element. Start the dryer. Set your multimeter to volts AC. Place one probe on the top terminal, that's the red wire coming from the drive motor. Touch the other probe to the metal floor pan. You should see 120 volts AC. If you're getting that, the motor's doing its job. If you're not, the centrifugal switch isn't closing. That means the motor's failed and will need to be replaced. After going through all the checks, we found the heating element itself had failed. Let me show you how to replace it. The heating element comes as a complete assembly with the high-limit thermostats already installed. Remove the wiring, take pictures if needed. Then remove the 2 screws in front. Lift up and remove the element assembly. Here's the old element and here's the new one. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick one up at AppliancePartsPros.com. Insert the element housing. Notice the slot and hook in the back. Install the 2 screws and reconnect the wiring. Let's get the dryer put back together, starting from where we left off with the drum out. Set the drum back into place, resting it on the rear rollers. Use the belt to guide it in. Then reach underneath and loop the belt back around the motor pulley and tensioner. Grab the front bulkhead, set it into the mounting tabs, and line it up. Reinstall the 4 screws to hold it in place. Now reconnect the door switch harness and the drum light connector. Secure the front panel with the 4 screws at the front and the 2 at the top. Drop the top panel down and snap it back into place by pressing it into the 2 spring clips. Pop the protective cover on, slide the console back into position, and finish it off with the metal cover. Reinstall the screw that holds the steam supply line cover in place. That's it. Dryer's closed up and ready for testing. Thanks for watching. If you've identified the broken part like a heating element, head over to AppliancePartsPros.com with your model number to order your replacement. Most orders arrive within just a couple of days, so you can get your GE electric dryer back up and running in no time. Once your new parts arrive, check out our step-by-step video guides to make the installation process smooth and straightforward. We'd love to hear how your repair went, so feel free to share your experience in the comments below, and I'll see you later.